Greetings! I'm actually making this video. It was inspired by another Yang Ganger who interviewed somebody from Thailand. I don't recall his name and I don't remember hers, but this made me think that Joe and I happen to have met in another country, and we've also had the privilege of traveling to many other countries, and we've met many people, many Americans who are living overseas because they feel like they can no longer afford to live in America. So this is what we're going to be talking a little bit about. So maybe we could start with where we met, how we met. So we met 13 years ago in South Korea. Joe, I didn't introduce you. Okay, so this is my husband, Joseph Countryman.
Hi,
say hello.
Everybody. Hi, nice to see you.
All right, and we met in South Korea 13 years ago through a mutual friend. We both went there to teach English. I had left Canada to go there. And do you want to say about yourself?
Sure, yeah. I grew up in Southern California, and I moved to Central California and went to university up there, and then moved back to Southern California after I was done with university. So my whole life up until the point where I left for South Korea had been living in California.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what brought you to South Korea?
Well, I had the opportunity to travel to Asia once before then, so I had set up a goal at that point to have a life in Asia, and I thought that would just be really special. I connected with some expats in Thailand and some great Thai people as well, and familiarized myself a little bit with Korean culture growing up in the Los Angeles area. There's a lot of wonderful Korean people there and people of Korean descent, and so just at that time I started becoming more involved with Korean culture, and opening basically made itself apparent to me to teach there really quickly, and I thought it would be a great opportunity. And to be frank, in LA at that time, as it's still the case now, the cost of living was quite high there. So I also saw the economic opportunity. I went from a studio apartment with a shared bathroom to a 2-bedroom apartment with my own bathroom. Nobody else is living in the place, and that was a pretty big move up for me. I got to invite Lorna over, and I thought my apartment was the cat's meow, but she said it was more of a bachelor's pad. So we ended up moving to another place when we got together. But it was so nice to have a big place like that. And a lot of people moved. Especially the younger teachers who we met, were there to pay down their student debt or to put aside money to go into business. So there was a sense that those opportunities weren't there in the U.S. at that time, and this was around 2006, so this was even pre-recession. So it was still felt even at that time, and I can agree from personal experience.
That's excellent. And for me, I left Canada with my 2 boys, and it was partly economic for me as well, where I recognized that I wanted to pay down student loans. Right? I had finished my degree in social work, and had spent 5 years doing that, had left that, and decided I wanted a change. I wanted to teach, and here was an opportunity for me to not just teach, but to be able to take my 2 sons with me, and also to be able to start really making some headway with my student loans. So that was partly economic for me as well. So I wanted to touch on the point of how so many people that we've met, because we've traveled widely. We've met many people who've shared their story of feeling like they can no longer afford to live in America.
Yeah, and Lorna is from Jamaica, and there are many expats, American expats, and from other parts of the world who want to live a more affordable and closer to the earth lifestyle, who have been living in Jamaica for many years. And we also lived in Panama in the north, in a community called Boquete, which is a huge foreign population there. And
Yes.
there were people who we would meet who said, "Oh, I'm here because Trump got elected," or "I'm here because Obama got elected a second term," or whatever it was. But most of the people who came and said they were there for political reasons they weren't there long. The people who were there for a long time were either in their middle ages and or looking to make it work in business or in a career field there and live for less, or they were people who were already retired and looking to make their retirement funds stretch well into their we're living into our 90s more than ever before.
Right.
Or that more than recorded history at least.
And I recall meeting many of those people who said to me they could no longer afford to live in America.
When they crunched the numbers, they said, this is how much I have in savings, and I'm 70, but I have great health. I'm anticipating living for at least another 10 years, and even 10 years was seeming like a stretch for a lot of people in their late 60s, early 70s who had relocated to Panama. And to be frank, I mean, there's always going to be economic challenges wherever you go, and sometimes when you go to other countries you forget that it's a little bit harder to find secure employment if you need it.
But to the point, there are many of them who spoke about not being able to afford health care, right, where they felt completely just financially strapped. Maybe they had some health challenges in the past, and then it just felt like they could no longer, like they'd gone bankrupt. Whatever it was, there were some dire economic circumstances that made many of them leave. It's not just about the ones in particular in Panama, right? The ones in Korea, you have to have a degree to go there to teach anyway, right? So many of them were student loans, and they were younger. They tend to skew younger age, but yes, they were there because they wanted to be able to pay down student loans. But the ones in Panama, they were many times older, as you say, coming into retirement, and they felt like they couldn't afford healthcare in America, and they just felt like they couldn't afford the cost of living overall, right?
And,
yeah.
And you can make your money stretch there a little bit more.
It can stretch
some way, shapes, and forms. But the other thing is, the healthcare may be more affordable, but if your family is far, then that makes it complicated as well. So,
right.
We've seen all kinds of different situations, but the point is that a lot of times they were great people who have a lot to offer a country like the U.S., and in their heart of hearts, they probably would have wanted to be here.
Right. So this is a good point to be able to bring it home to say, we believe that with Andrew Yang as president of the United States, Andrew Yang winning the coming election will bring a lot of people home, because that's one of the things that many people are, the people who are looking now at Andrew Yang, they're feeling a sense of hope and optimism, a sense of pride in being American, many of them who felt just really disenfranchised. And $1,000 a month, let's just be straight about that. There's so many people who are going to be helped by that. And I feel that as a result of this, there are some expats who are likely going to come home.
Yep. And there's going to be also a smaller group of expats who were resistant to the lack of humanity that we operate with in this country. And quite honestly, there's going to be a lot of our kids who will be able to respect us.
Yeah.
Because even though they're kids, they have a sense of what is right and what is wrong. And you don't really need to hang around too long to see that there's a lot of crooked capitalism that's been involved with politics in this country for a long time, and it's time for that to change.
And with Andrew Yang believing in a more human-centered capitalism, right, where he puts humanity first, and the freedom dividend, where everybody who is a citizen 18 and up gets this. It's going to make a huge difference in the economy as well.
That's right.
And Medicare for all, right? Those are his three main policies. So that concludes our video for today. I trust that it's been helpful. We are a married couple who we believe in humanity first. We're humanitarians, right? And we've had the benefit of living overseas. We've seen it. And we're excited that Andrew Yang is running for president so that people who want to be closer to family can in fact come home and be with family. We've been blessed to be able to do that, and it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on another video.
All right.
Bye
Take care.
for now.